All right, we're good.
All right, welcome everybody. We're here with PointsKash.com. We have one of the pioneers that is working with the company that has tremendous experience in the loyalty and rewards space, who we have the honor and privilege of interviewing today. I'd like to uh, tell you a little bit about Mr. Ben Ashwell that we have here today. He's a strategic advisor with PointsKash.com. And Ben has been a pioneer and long-standing expert in the loyalty industry, has led successful loyalty programs in the travel, financial services, and retail sectors, initiated loyalty industry events and campaigns across the globe, and built up companies in the field of customer loyalty. And Ben, thank you for being here. We're excited to talk to you about why PointsKash is such an innovative program that's going to change the industry. Tell us what people, what customers that are out there in the world right now are most concerned about regarding the loyalty and reward space that you're uniquely aware of.
Thanks, yeah, and thanks for having me today. So I think one of the things that I've experienced in my many years in this space is that consumers, when they talk to me as a fellow consumer or as a program advisor, is what can I do with my points, and how easy is it going to be for me to use them? And conversely, they also say will advise their biggest challenge with a program is that they can't use the points in the way they want to. This is because the programs typically build up a portfolio of redemption options, which are built around partnerships they've established over many years that are relevant to their brand, and generally provide consumers with limited options in ways that they can use these points. What PointsKash have done is looked at the fact that these points could be converted into a virtual currency, something that can then be used on anything that consumers want to use them on, creating true liquidity within the points. Which is something that will allow them to be able to differentiate the programs that are allowing them to use the points in that way.
Wow, that's fantastic. So how did you get started with PointsKash.com? And did you meet somebody specifically? What kind of drove you to this space?
Yeah, well, I've been in the space for many years, and I was talking with Steve on LinkedIn of all things, and we were originally looking at his boilerplate presentation, and he asked me for some feedback on what I thought about it. And I'd actually worked in some similar products in the past, and so I was able to give him some of the experience that I had had in launching products with a similar mission. And therefore, we were able to quickly kind of get to the points that we think PointsKash could be different from some of those ventures that have tried to get into this space previously, particularly looking at the way they're using technology, and the way that they want to be able to interact with the consumer and build a community that can really make this a valuable commodity to many of the programs around the world. So we got talking, and Steve then asked me if I'd be available to help him with some of the consultation pieces and give some ideas, given my experience. And that's really what's brought us to this point.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that because I'm curious. What do you think really makes the potential of PointsCash.com so uniquely different than some of the other competitors in the space?
For me, it really comes down to the liquidity. From a consumer perspective, to be able to give them the message that they can use their points on anything they want to, and that any number of points that they would have in an account, whether it's 1 or 1 million, can give them some tangible value, is a message that hasn't been able to be offered to them before. From a program's perspective, I think that the ability to be able to offer that liquidity can come at the promise that the points can be redeemed at a lower cost, which means it can have a very positive economic impact on the program. Whereas they may want to sell the points at, say, 1 cent to an airline today in a transfer process. With something like PointsKash, I think consumers will say, I'd be happy for that point to be worth half a cent instead of 1 full cent if I can really use it on anything I want to. And that means the programs can redeem the points at a lower rate, which means the overall program economics and costs will come down significantly.
Amazing. All right. And so from a consumer standpoint, we have Jennifer here who's on the branding team. Um, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about from a consumer standpoint, having many loyalty programs yourself. What irritates you about, and what keeps you from actually engaging with some of the loyalty programs that you have, whether it be retail, loyalty rewards points, whether it be airline miles, credit cards, anything like that. Maybe there's an industry that you kind of gravitate to more, maybe less. What do you find as like the biggest barrier to actually you using those things to their fullest potential?
Yeah, I would say it depends on the program. Like for travel miles, you have to accumulate like 1 million before you can ever get like a free flight. And then with the makeup, like it limits what you can use your rewards on. So that's a little, discouraging because I can't really do what I really want to do with it. And it's hard sometimes to track because it takes time to accumulate the points. And while you're doing life and you're busy, you don't know how much points you have. And when you're reaching a certain number of points that it's useful, and a lot of times I just forget about them and move on. So I think for me, what's exciting is exactly what Ben Ashwell has mentioned, is the fact that it is one, consolidated into one place, all my points. I don't have to go searching for it all over planet Earth. And two, it becomes liquid where I can use it on anything I want. For me, it doesn't get no better than that. To me, it makes rewards points become really relevant because there's a monetary value to it that I can use on anything I want. So
yeah, I'm with you on that. So for me, it's like any technology that consolidates all these things together into one place and makes my life more convenient. And then, like you said, the liquidity of it is very, very attractive. So that's from the consumer standpoint. But what do you think from a business standpoint? Why would a business want to engage with PointsKash.com so that they could just kind of offload this responsibility as a third-party resource? How does it benefit both sides? How does it benefit a company?
This question's for me or Ben?
No, for Ben. For Ben.
So I think on the one hand, I think the ability to be able to reduce the costs around the value of those points. So just to kind of put it in a bit more context, a program every day issues points. If you fly, if you spend on your credit card, they issue points to the consumer in return for the business that they've offered that brand. That's the cycle that exists within loyalty programs. That means that these points are being issued, and every day this liability of points that exists within the program grows and grows and grows. And some of them, we're talking about trillions of points worth billions of dollars. They sit on their books. They have to be prepared for a couple of things. One, and particularly we see this right now with the airlines in such a vulnerable state, is that if some press gets out there that I just got an echo. Hang on, let me start that again. Okay, I'm back. So if the press releases a story saying that the airline is at risk, the airline is at risk of going bankrupt, and people around the world know that they have points at value, they can do what we call a run on the bank. Basically, everybody tries to use their points straight away, and the airline needs to be prepared for that. And because the financial controllers, particularly in the United States, have asked them to protect those provisions or create provisions for those kind of circumstances, that means they need to keep cash on the books at all times so they can fulfill that promise and give the customers the value of those points in the event they have a problem. That means they need to bring that cost down. And they look at the weighted cost of the points across the program with all the different redemption options that are available, bringing in a lower price one, something that PointsKash could offer them while still offering a very high perceived value to the consumer from the liquidity, helps them bring down that cost. And that's something that they will be very interested in.
Wow. That's
the other one. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's very, very insightful. Very insightful.
The other one that's it's an economic situation that the programs face is that when they issue a point, they need to reserve a percentage of the revenue that they can declare until those points have been redeemed. So the programs also need to constantly be trying to encourage their customers to redeem those points, to bring down that liability, and so they can fully declare the revenues that exist within the program. So that also means that giving customers another option, another really available, very accessible through the technology way to be able to use the points, gives them the ability to be able to control that revenue declaration more easily.
For sure, yeah. So there's all these very strong pillars to make the company and the business really valuable. And I see that in the future of the brand and the program and the website and the app, There's going to be a lot of engaging tools to make the website a lot more fun for people to engage with, and just ease of use, liquidity, fun, engaging, social. I see it as an all-around win-win-win for everybody. So that's great. I'm very excited about this, and I'm excited to watch all the growth that happens with this company as it reaches new heights. And Ben, any parting thoughts? I want to thank you for your time today. And anything you want to leave the audience with?
No, I mean, I think, from a consumer's perspective, there's so many programs out there today.
Yeah.
And every time you walk into a store, there seems to be an invitation to join another program and those kind of things. Most of the time, I find myself saying no now. Like you were just describing, I have enough programs in my life probably to manage right now, but that's probably because I don't think they're necessarily going to give me a value back because I don't shop there frequently enough. But now every one of those invitations, if it was connected to PointsKash, could add a few more cents or a few more dollars to that running total. And that means that suddenly all the programs in the world can become relevant as well. And that's another way of being able to kind of expand the offering through this technology. So
yeah,
I think there's a long way to go.
PointsKash is the future for rewards programs. That's what I feel. The future is there. You want to get people to really, come alive to rewards programs again. Where PointsKash is headed is where the consumer is going to want to go.
Yeah, I agree with that. For me, it does do that for me as I'm a shopper. I will, like, if I see a program now and I know that it can participate and increase my value with my PointsKash account, I'm going to be more likely to engage with it. So I'm totally there with you. That's great. Yeah. That's fantastic. So for all the viewers, just go to PointsKash.com, pre-register for register for a pre-launch account. There's lots of bonuses and rewards to kind of incentivize you to do that. You'll be the first to know when the program actually launches so that you can take advantage of that, turn all those programs into cash. We talked to lots of people that have lots and lots of different programs, billions of dollars out there to be taken advantage of. So definitely go to the site, register an account. And Ben, thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you in person and hearing from you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Hey, everybody.